Doctor, doctor, tell me, is it a boy or a girl?
It's a tranny. Yeet! So hey, what is up, y'alls? So today I'm finally making a video that I've been putting off for months. And the reason I've been putting it off is because it's something I really don't want to put on YouTube at the same time that I do. It's because it's something that I'm not going to be able to like hide it forever or just avoid it forever. I'm not necessarily trying to hide it. I'm just trying to avoid it. I'm not gonna be able to do that forever. It's not like most of you guys who follow me from my Tumblr or just from knowing me in real life, already know. So you guys probably mostly already know it. But if you don't, because you just followed me, because you found me on YouTube, you probably don't know that yes, I am trans. I was born biologically female. So some questions that I get or other trans people get, first and foremost, is why are you transitioning? What makes you trans? Whatever. And the answer to that is basically dysphoria. I have sex dysphoria that started getting really intense around puberty, 13, 14. But before puberty, I still had moments where I was like, one of my best friends when I was like 9 was this really big tomboy, grew up to be a lesbian, but she passed as a boy before I ever did, before I was even allowed to. And I was so jealous all the time. We would go to church. I would go to church with her, and they'd call her young man. And I was so jealous. Like, I was like, excuse you. Excuse you. But yeah, there's that. What is sex dysphoria like? It's kind of like, excuse me. Did you ever have those toys? You sometimes got them in your Happy Meal or at the store where they have 3 pieces and it's like a person. It's like a head and a body and then their legs, and you could like twist them or mix and match them to like different outfits, and sometimes 2 outfits went together and went with a head that had like a hat on it, and they would all come together to form like a doctor or something. I've always kind of felt like I was one of those toys, and somebody had just left the wrong head on a body, and it just never felt right. My body has always felt really strange to me, very not mine, very, my voice used to sound like wrong to me. I didn't like to hear myself speak. I didn't like to hear myself recorded, and it's very hard to live with. It's not an easy feeling to live with. It's not something that can just be helped with therapy. Yeah, it's if you don't have it, it's very hard to conceptualize, and I want to do the best job that I can to help you guys conceptualize it. But it's really hard because everybody feels it really differently, so the way I conceptualize it for you guys may not be the same way somebody else would. Some people, they have different symptoms, because there are like a lot of different symptoms, but I've always wanted to be seen and be spoken about as male and with male pronouns, and I was always very upset when it didn't work. I mean, I had periods where I was pretty feminine as a child. Yeah, I had periods where I was pretty feminine, but it wasn't always like a choice. Like, I'm not always the most masculine person. I do have some feminine things, but when I was growing up, I just wasn't allowed to shop in the boys section. I wasn't allowed to cut my hair. It was down past my ass for a while, um, and I always hated it. I always hated long hair. I wanted to wear boxers. I wanted to look like a boy, but that didn't get really bad. I was okay. I was pretty okay with dressing as a girl until I was like 13, and then I started growing and starting. Well, I started my period at 12, but um, all of that started, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. So at 14, I came out to my school. I started going by a different name. I didn't have much of a fashion sense. I was your typical 14-year-old Tran who doesn't know how to dress like a guy. So I wore flannels, and I got my first binder at 15. And yeah, it's been an uphill battle to cope with my body every day, and it's a lot of things have changed. I'm 18 now. I do what I want. I My mom has stopped trying to like say, "Oh, that's too manly." Like, I came out to her when I was 16, so 2 years after I came out in general, and she would still like I would pick out something I like, and she would go, "Oh, that's too manly," or "Oh, that makes you look like a boy." Like, duh, that's the point. But yeah, so that is a lot of what people wonder. What does sex dysphoria feel like? And then the next question is, have you had any surgeries? No, I haven't. I still have breasts and a vagina, and I'm not gonna deny that, and I'm not gonna like skirt around the fact. I do. It is what it is. I don't like it. I'd rather not. Um, my chest especially, my chest dysphoria is pretty bad. Um, my bottom dysphoria is more focused around sex and stuff, so it's not there as much. It's just the urge to be able to have sex like a male. But my chest dysphoria is pretty bad. Um, it doesn't. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I like my arms and I like my waist and I like a lot of that, and I think I have an attractive body, but and then I see my breasts and they just don't look right. They look like they were just smacked on there and they're not supposed to be there. I don't really know how to explain it. I just really don't like them, and I'm saving up for top surgery. I have $400 saved up for top surgery. Yay. That's gonna take so long. But yeah, I have not had any surgeries. So those two questions out of the way, you guys are welcome to ask, I would say, appropriate questions. Like, you should know if something you're asking is inappropriate. I mean, don't worry about like being PC, don't worry about being offensive. Just think about in terms of like common decency. Would you ask somebody else what their genitals look like? Would you ask somebody else you know, a gross question. Just don't ask gross questions, and we'll be fine. I don't care what else you ask. So this is really awkward. I don't really know what to say. But if you have any questions, like about trans politics, about the intercommunity issues, about being trans, about dysphoria, about how to cope with dysphoria, how to pass, any of those videos are always things I can do. What I don't want is this to turn into a trans YouTube, because I know for a fact, tagging your stuff trans, FTM, whatever, I know it will always bring a lot of views, and I know this from experience. Like, if I tag a selfie FTM. It's just gonna get more likes, and I don't know why, but I don't want to become one of those channels that just every video is about being trans. So I'm gonna try very hard to do way more stuff, and I really do want you guys to put in the comments or wherever what other videos you'd like to see me do. Like maybe songs you suggest learning or on the guitar, because I'm just really basic songs, please, because I just started playing. But stuff like that. It doesn't have to be, I don't want to become a trans channel. And not that it's bad to be a trans channel, it's just I don't feel that is a big enough part of my person to make a whole YouTube channel about it. I have other aspects of myself and other opinions on things not related to being trans, and I think I need to get those out there, and I don't want it to be just revolving around my transness, or revolving around this thing I was born with and can't control, Alright, I will see you guys later.